What is up, Ravens flock? Huge shout out for your support for the 410 Sports Talk. James and Glenn are the best in the business. They're killing it right now. They love talking Raven talk. Make sure you go subscribe to their channel. Let's go Ravens. Big trust.
Hey guys, welcome into another episode of 410 Sports Talk. James Haskell, along with my co-host Glenn Martin, and we're here to talk about these PFF positional rankings. If you've been following the channel, we've been talking about this for a while now. We've done a video on a couple different position groups, but this is the potentially the most important one, certainly the most impactful one on the football field. We are talking about the quarterback position. So before we get into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you check us out on all of our outlets. Check us out on Newsbreak as well. Give us a like. Leave all your comments below. But the quarterback position, Glenn, is a really interesting one here, and I don't think that fans are going to be very happy about where Lamar Jackson is ranked. So let's get right into this list. I'm going to pull it up here right on the screen, and we'll get to it.
All right, let's do it. No surprise who leads this list. Number one is Pat Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. He's had about as a productive career as you could possibly have as a 25-year-old in the league. Mm-hmm. So absolutely no arguments with him being up there. Deservedly belongs as the number one spot. And number two as well, no arguments here is Tom Brady.
You think Tom should have been number one?
I think there's an argument there because of the amount of success he had, the butt whooping that the Bucs put on the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and the fact that they were able to return all of their starters. So there's no reason to expect them not to be great again this season. But I understand that if you're just grading the player, the stuff that Pat Mahomes can do both on script and off script is really matched by no one. So, but Tom Brady's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. It's not that close in my opinion.
Yep.
And he showed that really he kind of put the rest, is it Belichick? Is it Brady? By his first year leaving the team, going all the way, winning the Super Bowl and doing it in really in handily fashion. So no arguments there. Do you have anything? You have any problems with those two?
No, okay. I'm fine with that. And then, of course, rounding out the top three is Aaron Rodgers, only the MVP of the NFL. I guess my only problem would be it's just really weird to leave Aaron out of the top two coming off of an MVP, a ridiculous MVP season. So, but once again, those three are the top three. Whatever your order is what your order is. But here's where it starts to get interesting, because I think that right now, you and I would both agree that the top three is fine. We don't think Lamar right now is top three, right? Would you agree?
Right. Yes.
But when you start look down, so you have the top three. Let's group the next three. You have Russell Wilson at 4, Desean Watson at 5, and Josh Allen at 6. Still no Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
So little concerning, at least in my eyes.
Yep.
I'm sure you feel the same.
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you go down to 7.
Still no Lamar.
Still no Lamar. And Lamar comes in at number 8, Glenn. How are you feeling about that?
Okay, well, let me get into it. Let's just read what they said. They said Lamar Jackson says regression is likely when coming off an MVP campaign, as we saw. And we saw that from Lamar Jackson. So the Ravens offense was less effective in the run game, and the offensive line struggled at times this past season. Still, Jackson continued to prove he is one of the most dynamic playmakers in the NFL, if not the most. If the Ravens can help him out with more efficient and effective pass game tied into their run concepts, then I would expect Jackson to get back to MVP form. It says Baltimore has a tough schedule ahead when compared to last year, so Jackson will have to shoulder the load to prove he can take the Ravens back to the promised land. Well, one thing they're leaving off that list is that he also had to deal with a lot of COVID struggles last year. And I think that led to some of the regression, as they're saying, after his MVP season. But here's the reason I have a big problem with. Let's go back up a little bit. Yep. And there's two guys in particular that really get me fired up. And I'll start with number 5, Desean Watson. Now, there's no argument that he's a talented player. He's one of the most storied and successful college quarterbacks of all time. And he came into the league, and he's really been successful the entire time he's been in the league. But that success is in no way, in my opinion, comparable to the success that Lamar Jackson has had. He has not had a season even close to the season that Lamar Jackson put up when he was MVP just 2 years ago. I'm not understanding why. Now, look, he has more yards, so I'll give him that. He's got more yards, but he throws a lot more interceptions. He has not matched his high in passing touchdowns in the season came last year with 33. Well, Lamar Jackson had 36 just 2 years ago. And remember, he was forced to miss a game last year. And then even after he came back, he said it took him a little bit to get back, from the COVID issue. So I'm not, Jimmy, why does the continue to rank Desean Watson ahead of Lamar Jackson, despite the fact that he has a worse record? I mean, he doesn't have an MVP, much less a unanimous MVP.
Right.
What is it that they love about? It's not like he went on this great playoff run. He doesn't have that over Lamar Jackson. What is it that they love about him that they keep putting him above Lamar?
I think the reason is it's the media's and analysts' obsession with the way the quarterback position is to be played, in that he is a passer. Not that Lamar isn't a passer, but he is an impromptu passer in a way that they like to like, similar to Patrick Mahomes. People obsess about his, you talked about at the beginning, his off script stuff where he's ad-libbing, right? Desean Watson does that, as well as anyone. But I will also say this, Desean Watson absolutely depends on that as well. As much as he's really good at that, it is also not a crutch, but it is a dependent of his success. Without his ability to ad-lib, is he that good of a quarterback? Not that he's not, is he that elite? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, he depends on his ability to hold the ball, similar to Ben Roethlisberger back in the day. He's really dependent upon that. So I don't know. I think it's really about this obsession with players' ability to do that, which Lamar Jackson can do and has done. But Lamar will just take off and stamper down the field for 30, right? Like, it just looks different. I think that the overarching theme here is that people don't like being wrong. I've said this a multitude of times, but Lamar looks different in the way he gets it done. It's so funny because their whole argument to me is buffering why Lamar, in my argument, or in my ranking, is 4. But they said he's the most dynamic playmaker in the NFL. What else matters?
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, Josh Harris has said it on the show here. A yard is a yard. Period. Yep. End of story. And if you amass Lamar Jackson's stats, put him up against Hall of Famers just in the passing game, and he is right there. So, yeah, I don't get the Desean Watson thing, and I definitely don't get the Dak Prescott thing. The other thing you didn't mention about Lamar that I think is important, not only did he deal with COVID, he lost an all-pro left tackle, and he lost a Hall of Fame right guard in one season. So those are 2 gaping holes that he had to deal with. And even with that and COVID and having a crazy schedule, he turned out an 11-5 season and still ran for over 1,000 yards. I mean, I think, so Desean Watson is an issue. Dak Prescott's a huge issue with me because he's done very little in one of the most ridiculous and laughable divisions in the NFL. Where they had a chance to get in last year at 6-10 or something stupid like that.
Pathetic division. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just, I'm outside of my mind. So in my mind, it's simple. It's like this. We talked about this before. If you took Lamar Jackson and put him on the Houston Texans, you tell me he's not going to be making the same plays. You're wrong. If you put Lamar Jackson on the Dallas Cowboys, you tell me he's not going to be making the same plays. You're wrong. Like, it's just that simple. Lamar Jackson can make plays in any offense. So, and same thing with Russell Wilson. Russell is great, and I would rank him above Desean and Dak. But to me, Lamar Jackson is the most elite, the most premier playmaker in the NFL. He deservedly is at number 4 in my take. Drop the mic, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and really, what's most important from your quarterback other than winning, right? I mean, leading your team to wins is and what's playmaking. The most. Yeah, absolutely. So let me just give Lamar Jackson's record right now in the regular season is 30-7. Okay, he has 30 wins to just 7 losses. Okay, that's pretty darn good, right? Well, Desean Watson, 5. He's just 3 games above 500, where Lamar is 23 games above 500. So I have a big problem there. And then Dak Prescott, similar situation with him. If my computer would he's 15 games above 500. He's a bigger sample size, but he's 15 games above 500. But nonetheless, he's 43. He's 42 and 27. I mean, I don't think there's any chance that once given this amount of sample size, 69 career games, that he's not going to have more than 42 wins. He's absolutely going to have more than 42 wins, considering the fact he's got 30 already.
Right.
So he wins more than these guys. It's not close.
He makes more plays than these guys.
A yard is a yard, like you said. A first down is a first down, and a touchdown is a touchdown. Whether he runs it in or throws it in, it still counts the same on the board.
Stupid.
So, when I look at this list, I say you have an argument. I mean, obviously, you have an argument with Pat Mahomes. I'll give you that. You got a great argument with Tom Brady. I'll give you that. Aaron Rodgers, the same thing. And Russell Wilson, you have an argument because of the longevity of his success, because of the multiple Super Bowl trips, the Super Bowl ring. He's always in MVP talks, at least halfway through the year.
Super durable.
Yeah, he brings a lot to the team. So I'll give you the top 4. But Lamar Jackson should be no lower than number 5 on this list. Look, Josh Allen had a breakout year last year. I'm not going to down too much of what Josh Allen, because I love what Josh Allen brings. He's very similar in that he does it as a dual threat player. He obviously runs a much different style than Lamar Jackson, who likes to run around you and make you miss. Josh Allen just go through you, especially if he sees a DB in front of him. So I'm not going to, but still, even he has not had the success Lamar Jackson. But I'd rank Josh Allen above Desean Watson all day. And I think Lamar Jackson should be no lower than 5. I'm fine with Josh Allen at 6. And then you can bring Desean Watson in at 7 and Dak Prescott in at 8. There is absolutely no way I would have Dak Prescott or Desean Watson above him. I mean, it's just absolutely silly. I don't understand it's like they give Desean Watson a pass on and they blame it on the fact that his roster's been tough around him. They just brush him aside. And the same way they brush aside Lamar Jackson rushing stats, they go, oh yeah, he's a really good runner, but
yeah,
and even when you look at just his passing, I mean, he's phenomenal. He's spectacular, but let's not brush aside the amount of impact he brings with his feet. I mean, it's absolutely, it gives defenses fits. It keeps DCs up at night because they have to constantly account for him. You cannot stress the impact that his legs bring and the stress that he puts on defenses and the amount of the fact that he makes the teammates around him so much better. I mean, it's just I don't understand why he continues to get discredited. They put a unanimous MVP at number 8. I mean, it's not like this is a unanimous MVP who won an MVP 10 years ago. This is 2 years ago. Right. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand the love affair with Desean Watson. Good player. Not top 5 yet. And he may never get there depending on how the legal issues end up playing themselves out. So I just don't understand it, Jimmy. I'm just as fired. It makes me absolutely crazy that they continue to disrespect our quarterback.
It's insane. It's so frustrating. People's pridefulness. Sometimes you got to check your ego at the door. Leave it outside. When you're looking at data is the truth. Lamar Jackson if you took the names away from these guys, just take the names away and put sample A through Z, right? Sample 1 through 32. Lamar Jackson would be ranked much higher if you just took the numbers.
Yep.
Right. And not the names. And that's the crazy part to me, is that people are unwilling to remove their ego and their willingness to be wrong from these judgments and from these rankings. I think it's crazy that Lamar Jackson's number 8. I totally agree. And I'm really interested to get the take of our viewers as well. Let us know, unless you got something else, but let us know what you guys think. Give us your thoughts. Leave your comments below. Are you with us? Do you think Lamar belongs to, I think 4, Glenn thinks 5. And I think you agree with me, Glenn, that 4 is worthy of an argument as well. But let us know where you see Lamar being ranked. And we'll talk to you guys soon.